Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. We're just going to give it 1 or 2 more minutes so folks can log on and join us. Feel welcome to grab a water, get settled. Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. We still might have some folks logging on, but we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Cody Bloomfield, and I am the Summer Nutrition Specialist at Hunger Solutions New York. I'm very excited to be with you all today to talk about Summer EBT. This is the third year New York has participated in the program, and we're really grateful that you've joined us today to learn about 2026 updates. I'm joined today by my colleague Jessica Pino Goodspeed at Hunger Solutions New York, as well as our partners at No Kid Hungry New York, including Habiba Abbas and Liz Lucas. Our statewide organizations work to strengthen access to federal nutrition programs, including the Summer Nutrition Program. And of course, we are so pleased to be joined by some of the folks working on this program as we speak, including Emily Marr, Summer EBT Bureau Chief at the New York State Office of Temporary and Disability Assistance, or OTDA, which we'll be referring to them as we move forward in the presentation. I just want to take a moment to thank Emily and the whole Summer EBT team for all of their work to make this program happen in New York. We so appreciate their efforts, their close collaboration, and we're grateful that they've joined us today to share timely updates so that we can all do our part to ensure this critical program reaches as many eligible children as possible. We will be recording this presentation, and all registrants will receive the recording and the slide deck after the call. So you'll be able to access any resources that we link on the slides and then share the presentation with any colleagues who might not have been able to make it today. We'll spend most of our time hearing from OTDA about the 2026 updates and then how we can help spread the word about the program. And then Hunger Solutions New York and No Kid Hungry New York will share a few additional resources before we get into Q&A. Please just add your questions to the chat throughout the presentation. Mia Morrow from OTDA will be working to address them in the chat, but we'll also get to them at the end of the presentation if we don't get to them during. And I just want to thank all of you too for being here today and for your attention. As the school year comes to a close, more New York kids than ever will lose consistent access to free school meals. And this, combined with rising food costs, can really place added pressure on families' budgets and increase the risk of food insecurity. So programs like Summer EBT can be a lifeline for families. So thanks for being here. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to Emily Marr.
Thank you, Cody. Just share. All right, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to OTDA's Summer EBT presentation. I'm just going to do a quick introduction of our managerial staff, and then we'll get into the program updates for this year. So Summer EBT staff is Sherry Tomasky is our Director of Food and Nutrition Policy. Unfortunately, she couldn't join us here today. I'm Emily Marr, the Summer EBT Bureau Chief, and our supervisors are Paul Sandak and Mia Morrow. So just really quickly, what is Summer EBT? So Summer EBT is a food benefit for eligible children to supplement the loss of free school meals during the summer months when school is not in session. Each eligible child will receive a one-time $120 benefit, which will be paid in a single issuance. So in 2025, we issued benefits to 1.99 million children in New York State. and we expect a similar number of children to receive a benefit in 2026. The first round of benefits will be issued by June 16th this year, and this will go out to about 1.6 million children. So we are expecting about 75% of eligible children to receive their benefits in the week before school ends. So how are children eligible for the benefit? So eligibility for this year has not changed from previous years, and the advent of universal school meals and the participation in the community eligibility provision are not used to determine eligibility for a summer EBT benefit. So how is a child eligible? There are two ways that we determine eligibility. The first is through streamlined certification. These children are automatically enrolled and will have their benefits issued without an application. They must either be enrolled in Medicaid or participate in SNAP or temporary assistance and be between the ages of 6 and 16 or be directly certified for free or reduced price meals by their school. These children can be any age between 3 and 21. The second way is through an application. So children who are not streamlined certified may still be eligible for a summer EBT benefit if they complete an application. These children must attend a school that participates in the National School Lunch Program and have a household income that is at or below 185% of the federal poverty level. And I'll show what that looks like on the next slide. So these are our current income guidelines for summer EBT. These will change at the beginning of the summer. So on July 1st, these will change and they will go up. The certification period for these guidelines are July 1st, so July 1st, 2026 through June 30th of 2027. So just so everybody understands, I'll just use the example of a family of 4. They would have to have a gross household income at or below $59,478 per year or $1,144 per week to qualify for summer EBT via an application. And as I mentioned, these income guidelines that I'm showing on the screen are valid through the end of June. These are on our website and they will be updated on July 1st when the new income guidelines go into effect. So the next question is my child eligible for summer EBT? And we have this nice flow chart that we put together that really shows concretely how you can determine if a child is eligible. So the first question is the child between the ages of 6 and 16 during the period of eligibility? Again, that period of eligibility would be July 1st, 25 through September 8th, 2026. And are they a participant in SNAP, TANF, SDPIR, or Medicaid? If the answer is yes, then the child is automatically eligible. If the answer is no, then we need to determine if this child is enrolled in a school that participates in the National School Lunch Program. If the answer is no, then the child is not eligible for summer EBT, though they still can access free summer meals. They just have to visit summermealsny.org to find out more information. If the child is enrolled in a school that participates in the National School Lunch Program, we need to determine if they were determined eligible for free reduced price meals through their school by either using an NSLP application or a family or alternate income form during the 25-26 school year. If the answer to that is yes, then the child is automatically eligible. If the answer is no, that doesn't mean that the child isn't eligible. They just may have to fill out an application to determine eligibility. So for the streamlined certified and automatically enrolled children, The eligibility letters for these children started mailing on Monday, and we believe that some families have already started receiving their letters. This first round of letters will continue to go out through the middle of June. So we're mailing 1.6 million letters, so it's going to take a long time for these letters to go out. And each eligible child will receive a letter before the benefit batch is issued. And so these letters will continue to go out through the calendar year as we continue to issue benefits. For the application, these are available year-round. We never take it down from the website, though we have a cutoff date, and then applications submitted after that date would only be eligible for the next program year. They are online and in a mobile-friendly format. It does require the applicant to create or use an existing ny.gov account to complete. These are the accounts that you would create for the DMV or for the tax department. The online application is available in both English and Spanish, and our paper applications are available in English, Spanish, and 11 additional languages. They can be downloaded from the Summer EBT website. That's otda.ny.gov/Summer EBT, or by calling the Summer EBT customer service helpline and asking for an application to be mailed. And all this information is on a later slide for you guys, so you don't have to write it down. Okay, so what are the application components and what do households need to know to complete an application? So in order to submit an application and for it to be accepted in the system, it must have the child or children's names, the names of all other household members, and the amount and source of all household income, and lastly, a signature attestation. The following information is very helpful and will assist with quicker application processing. So we would need the child or children's dates of birth and the schools that they attend, and a current address, phone number, and email address. No income documentation is required at the time of application, but we will be pulling a random sample of 3% of approved applications who will have to submit proof of income before the benefit is paid. And I don't think I mentioned this, but there should only, if a household has multiple children, they only need to submit one application per household, not per child.
Hi.
So I just want to give a quick overview of what our Summer EBT timeline looks like for this year. It'll be slightly different from last year. So like I said, in May, the eligibility letters will be going out to the 1.6 million children who will be getting their benefit by June 16th. So that June 16th benefit will include all auto-enrolled public school students and children who are in receipt of SNAP benefits. We will be mailing EBT cards to new recipients and existing recipients that did not use their benefit last year. All children who received their benefit last year and used it will receive their benefit on the same card. And we will also be sending text messages to households alerting them of the benefit issuance. This will start sometime in mid to late June. In July, we will start sending out eligibility letters to the auto-enrolled non-public school students and the children who are enrolled in Medicaid but did not attend public school and were not in receipt of SNAP. We expect this to be about 300,000 children. We'll probably still be text messaging those families who received that initial benefit, and we will also begin our verification process. The verification will be pulling a random sample of 3% of children whose families filled out an alternate income form and were determined eligible for Summer EBT benefits, and we will be asking for income documentation for those families. And then in August, we will issue benefits to those non-public school Medicaid students. That will be around August 3rd. We will continue to receive applications. So the applications will be received during this entire time period. We will start paying them in August, and then we'll continue to pay them in the next benefit batches. We will continue with our verification process. This time, in August, we will be verifying the income of the children who were approved via application. Again, that 3% sample will be pulling and verifying their income. And then we'll be starting our appeals process. So anybody who has been denied a benefit, either through application or either verification process, they are allowed to appeal our decision. And all that information will be included in the correspondence and the email that they receive about their denial. And we'll set that process and we'll start looking at those as well. Starting in September, we will continue with our eligibility letters and benefit issuances. We expect to have a benefit issued sometime probably at the end of October for our remaining children who became eligible for summer EBT through their school after February, as well as any children who became eligible for SNAP benefits in February. Those kids will be paid probably at the end of October. We'll be messaging them late September, early October. And again, we'll continue with paying applications and appeals and verification. And lastly, in November and December, we expect to be paying our last benefit batch. That will go out sometime before the end of December. And the eligibility letters will come about 2 weeks before those. And of course, we'll be texting everybody, letting them know that their benefits are coming. And we will also start our expungement texting. But I'll get into that a little bit more now. So like I said, the eligibility letters will be what arrives first. They generally will come a couple weeks before the benefits are issued. Each child will receive their own letter with their specific payment method information. So whether that benefit is paid to a new card or to an existing card. Then we will send text messages, which are used to reinforce the eligibility notice. So after benefits are issued, we text families again. This year, we are going to start something new, and about 8 weeks before benefits expire, we are going to send a reminder text messages to households that have not used any of their benefit. And then about 4 weeks before benefits expire, we'll send another text messages to all households who have not used their benefit. So those who haven't used any or all of it will receive a text message 4 weeks before their benefits expire, letting them know that giving them the date that their benefits will expire. And we put this out there so that folks know the short code for our text messages is listed here. It's 696832, so that households know this isn't spam, this isn't a scam, this isn't anything like that. We're just letting families know that they're about their summer EBT benefits. And lastly, we will be sending a limited number of email notifications. And I put the email address up here just so everybody's aware, again, that this isn't a scam or spam or anything like that. So this is the people who will receive emails are families who have applied for benefits, and we will email letting them know that they were either approved or denied for their benefit. In addition, for families who we will be verifying income for, if we have their email address, we will be emailing them. They will receive a letter, but they will also receive an email with a link to our portal that allows them to upload documentation. So they'll receive 2 notices, but we just want to cover all of our bases. Okay, so I just want to show an example of the summer EBT food benefit card. This is what it looks like. It looks like a typical EBT card. There are a few differences that I want to point out. The first is that all of the cards will have an ID number that starts with, has an I in the first or second position. This differentiates it from SNAP and Medicaid. And also the date of birth will always be 0101-1900. Again, this is because in order to pin the card, you need the child's birthday. And so we don't want to print it on the card. So they all come looking like this, and it is confusing for families, but this is for their protection. As I mentioned earlier, we will be issuing benefits to each individual child, and it will either go on a new card for those children who are new to the program or for those who received a benefit last year but didn't use it, or for children who used their benefit card last year, it will go on their existing card. Again, benefits will not be issued to the household SNAP EBT account, and all the information about card replacement and card activation will be included in our letters, but we also have it on our website. We ask that families keep their Summer EBT card for future years because we will reload benefits onto that card year after year that the child is eligible. And as a reminder, these benefits can be used just like SNAP benefits at any SNAP participating retailer, which includes grocery stores and farmers markets. Lastly, Summer EBT benefits cannot be replaced if stolen. So it is very important that families protect their accounts. And I'll go into that a little bit more on the next slide. So how do families protect their benefits? Since we cannot replace benefits if they are stolen, it is very important for families to protect them. They should create an EBT Edge account, and this will allow them to monitor their benefit issuance, access their transaction history, they can update their PIN, and most importantly, they can freeze their card. This is the best way for them to protect their card. So they can use their benefit and then freeze their account until the next benefit issuance the following year. You can either create an EBT Edge account at the website, which is ebtedge.com, or families can download the app on the Google Play Store or on the Apple App Store. So now we're going to talk about benefit expiration. When do benefits expire? They expire at midnight on the 122nd day from the date of issuance. So what this means is the last day to use their benefit is actually the 121st day. All unused benefits will expire and are removed from the card. So families should be encouraged to use their benefit as quickly as possible. And again, for those that don't, we will be sending reminder texts. So the first one will be 8 weeks for benefit expiration to families who have not spent any of their 2026 benefit. And then we will be sending a second message 4 weeks before benefit expiration to families who have not spent all of their benefit, including those who have not spent any of it. So customer service, who do families contact for questions? So the first place we suggest people go is the OTDA website. That's otda.ny.gov/summerebt. This will have information on the benefit issuance timeline. There will be eligibility information, including up-to-date income guidelines. Like I said, those income guidelines will change on July 1st, and we will update our website to reflect that. They can find information about Summer EBT card replacement and activation. We have a detailed FAQ. We also have the link to our application and some instructions on how to use the application. And we also have our outreach material linked there. The Summer EBT helpline, this can help families with answers to general questions. They can also call for child-specific eligibility questions. Address updates and ordering replacement cards can take place using the call center. They can assist with card activation issues. They can help troubleshoot any issues that families are having with activation. A lot of times, the biggest issue with activating cards is that the address that we receive from the school is, or I'm sorry, the birthday we receive from the school is not the correct birthday. And families have to use the birthday that we have on file, not the child's actual birthday. So if they call, the call center will give them the correct birthday, and then they can activate their card. And lastly, we do have interpreters for any language available. And new this year, we will have a dedicated Spanish language line for those who speak Spanish, so they will not have to go through an interpreter. And the last piece of customer service is the EBT customer service helpline. This is EBT Edge. Households can go and activate their cards using this number. They can order their replacement cards as long as they haven't moved. So the address on file with EBT is the address that they currently live at, and they can change their PIN using this number. So all of our outreach material can be found on OTDA's website. And it's listed here for you all. And again, we will send a copy of these slides out, so you don't have to write this down, we will have it for you. So you can find our general flyer, a sample of newsletter and e-news articles, some sample social media posts, and reference materials. And our goal with messaging, again, is to raise awareness about the program, the eligibility, and the benefits cycle that is only available for 4 months. We also want to increase communication about the application process in summer EBT school, or I'm sorry, CEP schools. This is really where families use the alternate income form. While families don't necessarily realize that this also makes them eligible for summer EBT. If they complete this form at their schools and are found to be income eligible, that automatically would make them eligible for summer EBT. And again, we want to focus on these vulnerable populations who may not know about the program. So I have a few questions and answers that we've collected over time, and some of them from some of the questions that you guys posed earlier. So I just want to go over these, and hopefully they will answer some of the questions that you have. So the first question we have is, can teens have their own EBT accounts? The answer is yes. Summer EBT benefits are issued in the student's name. So these teenagers can create their own EBT Edge accounts as long as they have their card information. How is summer EBT used at farmers markets? It's used the same way that SNAP is used at farmers markets. So anywhere SNAP benefits are accepted, summer EBT benefits are accepted. And you can go to this website, snaptomarket.com, for more information. How to report students who attend part of the school year? So this is a really good question. As long as a student attended a school that participates in the National School Lunch Program and meet the financial eligibility guidelines or program participation criteria at any point during the period of eligibility, so July 1st, 2025 through September 8, 2026, they are eligible for a summer EBT benefit. So essentially, as long as a child attends an NSLP school for 1 day and they meet the eligibility criteria, they would be eligible for a summer EBT benefit. What is the scope in which agencies can assist parents with summer EBT? Agencies can ensure that parents keep their information, such as parent guardian name, contact information, and mailing address up to date at their child's school and local DSS or HRA in New York City. Agencies can also help with completing applications if necessary and helping families sign up for EBT Edge. What roles do schools have? Again, schools are the keeper of the student data, so their role is essential. They should ensure that all student data, again, including parent guardian information, their contact information, and mailing address, is up to date within the SERS database. They can also provide students NYSOTDA IDs when requested by the parent. They can let families know who have moved since February. That's when we pull our public school data, that they should contact the Summer EBT helpline to order a new EBT card. An important thing here that isn't listed on the slide is if schools are notified by a parent that the child's date of birth is incorrect, it should be updated in the system so that when we pull that data next year, we have the correct date of birth. Another good question is, are children in pre-K eligible? They could be if the child attends a preschool that participates in the National School Lunch Program and this child has been directly certified for free reduced price meals, they will receive summer EBT benefits automatically. If the child is not directly certified for free meals by their school, the family may apply as long as they meet the eligibility criteria for the application. But it's important to note that many pre-K3 and pre-K4 programs are located within a school building, but they may be operated by another facility. So if families are unsure if their preschool does participate in the National School Lunch Program, they should check with their school's program director. Should families be encouraged to fill out an application? The short answer to this is yes. If a child did not receive a benefit by July 16th or June 16th, and the family has reviewed the application criteria, they should apply if they believe they are eligible for a benefit. They may be streamlined certified and receive their benefit later in the year, but just to ensure that they get their benefit, they should apply, and they may actually get paid sooner if they apply for a benefit, because some of our benefits will not be going out until the end of October and end of December, and these families could get paid sooner than that. How do we determine eligibility and which schools are eligible? So we determine eligibility from roster files. So we receive roster files from public and charter schools, along with many non-public schools in New York State. We also receive files from the New York State Department of Health with Medicaid, children enrolled in Medicaid, and then we pull our own data for SNAP, because SNAP is housed in our agency. And we pull all these files together. And so for the school's files, those indicate if students participate in the national school, or if schools participate in the National School Lunch Program, if they are CEP, Provision 2, or Provision 2 in the base year. They also indicate if a child is directly certified for SNAP or Medicaid, and if they are homeless, migrant, or in foster care, or if they've been directly certified through the school via an NSLP free reduced meal application, or an alternate income form. So the NSLP application would be for the Provision 2 base year schools only, and then the CEP and Provision 2 not in base year would be using an alternate income form. So essentially any school which participates in the National School Lunch Program is eligible, and it doesn't matter which provision they're in. Those schools are all eligible, and then it's really based on income at that point. Another question is, can families use benefits after the summer is over? Yes, and this is really important because I think that sometimes the messaging out there is this is only for the summer. And again, we do issue benefits late into the year. So families have 4 months, again, 122 days from the date of issuance to use their benefits. So benefits that are issued by June 16th will expire by October 17th. And we plan to issue 2 benefit batches over the summer, one by June 16th and the other by August 3rd. Those benefits will expire this fall. And then we're going to issue 2 additional benefit batches in late October and late December to capture all children who became eligible for summer EBT benefits through the end of the summer. And these benefits will expire in early 2027. So families should, even if summer's over, families should still continue to use those benefits. And lastly, what training and education is provided for local DSS offices? So we do send out a quick facts reference guide and a general information memo to all DSS offices so they are aware of the program and its operational timeframe. DSS has no role in Summer EBT except to keep client data up to date, including their contact information and mailing addresses. So this concludes OTD's portion of the presentation, and then I'll kick this back to Cody and Habiba for their wrap up.
Thanks so much, Emily. Really appreciate that thorough presentation. This program really gets better year after year, and we're just really grateful that you've joined us today to share the updates that are pertinent to 2026. So for those who joined late, I'm Cody Bloomfield from Hunger Solutions New York, and my colleague from No Kid Hungry New York, Habiba Abbas, and we're going to double down on the steps that you can take to connect more kids with Summer EBT. So there are key messages to share at different stages of the summer. And then there are resources that are already available, as Emily had mentioned, to help spread the word. And you can use your existing communication channels and networks like newsletters, social media, and websites to share these messages with families in your communities. Next slide, please. So as a visual person myself, this timeline is a helpful tool for me to wrap my head around how the summer EBT program unfolds over the summer months. As Emily mentioned, benefits are issued starting in mid-June, and children who receive benefits automatically will get a letter from OTDA notifying them of the date that their benefits will be loaded onto their card. Benefits will continue to be issued throughout the summer, and it's important to let families know to use their benefits quickly. Summer EBT benefits expire and are removed from cards 122 days after being issued, as Emily had mentioned. And OTDA will send reminder text messages to use benefits before they expire, but we just really can't overstate this message. We really want folks to be able to use their benefits before they expire. If children are thought to be eligible but haven't received any communications from OTDA by the beginning of August or even earlier, they can apply. We don't want any child to miss out on 2026 benefits. So encourage families to apply well before the September 8th deadline. And we also want to remind families to keep their cards year to year. If children are eligible in future summers, then benefits will be reloaded onto the cards, and keeping their cards will save them from having to go through the process of requesting replacement in the future. Since many of you, excuse me, since many of you are calling in from schools or community-based organizations, you are trusted messengers in your communities. Emily had shared earlier what the OTDA text short code was, as well as the OTDA email address, because we just don't want families to think these communications are a scam. We don't want them to dismiss them and then miss out on benefits. So because you have existing relationships, you play a really critical role in sharing these timely messages with families and just underscoring the messages that OTDA is already sending out. And I'll turn it over to Habiba to talk about the resources that are available. Thanks.
Thanks, Cody. So like Emily mentioned, community partners, schools, and advocates can encourage families to visit OTDA's official Summer EBT website for the most accurate and up-to-date information. This website includes information on eligibility, application timelines, benefit issuance, and frequently asked questions. And OTDA also offers ready-to-use outreach materials, including flyers, social media graphics, and family-facing resources available in multiple different languages that schools and community partners can share to help raise awareness about summer EBT in their communities. Schools and providers can use OTDA's dedicated school and provider page for outreach materials and implementation guidance. And like Emily mentioned, families with case-specific questions can contact the Summer EBT Customer Service Helpline for support. And for card-related questions, families can contact the EBT Edge Customer Service Helpline, and both of those numbers are on the screen. Next slide, please. Additionally, No Kid Hungry New York and Hunger Solutions New York have developed additional resources to assist with Summer EBT outreach in 2026. We encourage partners to take advantage of these outreach materials, school-focused resources, and messaging tools to assist with outreach to New York families this summer. Partners can use cross-program outreach materials to promote both Summer EBT and summer meals in their communities using Hunger Solutions New York's cross-program toolkit, which includes ready-to-use materials such as flyers and sample messaging to help with outreach. Additionally, their school-focused summer EBT page also includes information and guidance specifically designed for schools. This page includes helpful information and best practices on how to connect eligible families to summer EBT in a school setting. The No Kid Hungry New York team is also excited to share additional information for schools and districts on how to conduct effective summer EBT outreach this summer by highlighting a member of our National Summer EBT Champion Network, Caitlin Lazarski from Pine Bush Schools, in a blog with helpful tips from her experience on how to reach eligible students. We also encourage you all to check out No Kid Hungry New York's Summer EBT webpage for helpful resources and frequently asked questions on how to help families with questions about summer EBT. Partners can also access outreach materials and resources from No Kid Hungry's national webpage, which can be used to help raise awareness with families and communities. Lastly, we'd like to note that additional outreach materials will be available soon, such as ready-to-use flyers and social posts to help with summer EBT outreach for 2026. And this information will be available in upcoming newsletters and social posts, so make sure to follow us and stay tuned for more. Now we're happy to open up the floor to any folks who may have questions regarding any of the information mentioned during this webinar or about summer EBT in general. We're happy to answer any questions and keep the conversation going, so feel free to utilize the chat function or just come off mute and ask any questions you may have.
Thanks so much, Habiba. I appreciate that. And I see that Mia's answering some questions in the chat. There was one raised up about how often OTDA will be downloading from Sears or SIRS, and how will the capture those who submit a CAP application to the district after June. Emily, would you be willing to address this one in real time?
Sure. So state ed downloads the file from SIRS at the beginning of March and then the third week of August so that we can capture everybody. I believe that, from my understanding, all schools have to submit all their roster information by the end of June. That allows state ed to then compile all the data and get it to us. If a student submits a CEP application after school ends, so it would be after July, we have to collect this information. We don't think that there are going to be a lot of schools that are collecting this, so we're going to do some ad hoc reporting and some outreach to schools that we know that have collected these applications from students. It's mostly going to be the NSLP applications for the students who attend the schools that are Provision 1 in the base year. Hope that answers your question.
Thanks, Emily. Okay, there's another one from Michelle about the second year of Provision 2 districts, if we want to cover that one.
Yeah, so Provision 2, schools that are Provision 2 and not in the base year would operate like CEP schools. So no, they're not collecting NSLP applications for the students, but they are sending out these family or alternate income forms. A lot of times these, from my understanding, again, these are sent to families for like AP tests for a discount on AP test fees and things like that. But by filling these out, or maybe for instruments and things like that, but by filling these out, the students then would be, if they are income eligible, would then be eligible for summer EBT. So for those Provision 2 schools, as long as they have an alternate income form that families are filling out, that's what we use to determine eligibility for summer EBT. And if families are concerned about this, I don't think families necessarily know what provision their school is, but if any family that's concerned that their child isn't going to be eligible for summer EBT through their school, we encourage them to fill out an application. What's going to happen is if we have a duplicate application and the child's already been paid, we're just not going to process that application. We'll disregard it and that child will be paid via streamlined certification.
Thanks, Emily. And then Mia got to the question about skimming.
Yes.
Unfortunately, summer EBT benefits that are lost or stolen cannot be replaced. including skim benefits. So that's why they encourage folks to lock their cards and use their benefits right away. I think there's a question from Susan in the chat. If a family already knows they didn't keep their card from last summer, can they proactively call the EBT helpline to request a new card?
The answer, yeah, and I think may answer that, but yes, the answer is yes. If a family received a card benefit last year and they don't have their card, we encourage them to call the helpline now, and we can order them a new card.
Wonderful. And then Mia might be answering Annie's question in real time, but if you want to get it, Emily, just to confirm CEP districts who still accept free and reduced price applications, these count towards summer EBT.
Yeah, so my understanding is that for CEP schools, the NSLP application is not required. If families aren't submitting these forms, I mean, there isn't really anything we can do unless, we get the messaging out saying that these forms will also help you get summer EBT benefits, and they won't have to apply. I mean, they still have to fill out this. They're the same application, more or less, but this way they'd be streamlined certified and get paid sooner.
If you don't mind, I just want to add something. We do accept paper applications, which come in the, is it 12 languages, Emily?
Yeah, English and then Spanish and 11 additional languages.
But we encourage families to fill out the paper application completely and to sign it, and they have to be submitted or postmarked by September 8th to be eligible for this summer.
Thank you, Mia.
If anyone wants to come off mute and ask an additional question, you're welcome to. These have been great questions in the chat. Thank you so much, Mia and Emily, for covering them all. While we're waiting on questions to come in, I will just repeat that the webinar has been recorded, and the recording, in addition to the slide deck, will be shared out to anyone who registered. And you're welcome to forward that along to folks too, in case there are colleagues that you'd like to share it with. So just know that you'll be getting all of this information to your inbox as well.
Well, happy to close this off. If there aren't any more questions, on behalf of the No Kid Hungry New York team and Hunger Solutions New York, I'd like to thank the OTDA team for joining us today and getting us all ready for summer 2026. Thank you to all the participants for joining us today as well. All of the resources mentioned during this webinar will be sent in a follow-up email, including links to following us on social media and signing up for our newsletters. So stay tuned for that. And once again, don't forget that email is coming, and we'll see you all soon. Thank you and take care.
Thank you very much. That's fun.